Outer Orange.
Ooh, welcome back. I'm in my PJs and I'm talking ancient stuff here. We're talking 2018 PJs like for MomoCon. This shirt is older than my PS5 upstairs. Anyway guys, welcome back to Results Yap. We're gonna be basically talking about all the results. We got quite a bit to go through, so let's go ahead and do it. Hi, so I decided to change how I'm gonna start doing these results yaps, and if you guys don't like this or find that it's not good enough for you to see the cards or whatever, just let me know and I'll just go back to the old form. I just thought this was better because you can actually see my face a little bit better and see my reactions as I go through decks. I don't know, I just think this might be better, but you can let me know below how you feel about it. WGP Season 2 2025 results, and actually I realized I am on the wrong page. This is the right page, to be honest. This is first place right here. Well, I'm sorry, not first place. This is top 32 if I remember correctly of all the results, and this just happened. They actually streamed this. I actually didn't know that I don't know if they typically stream these or they just stream specifically this one. I'm not too sure, but they did stream this one. So if you're interested in watching that, I'll have the link below of where I found it, so you guys can check that out as well. They actually have it on their tweet as well, so if you're really interested, they also have it on their tweet if you follow the Cardfight Vanguard Japanese Twitter. Anyway, so a bunch of Vergilla, Heartluru. I think Heartluru is the most represented deck, and then next one was Vergilla, and then everything else after that. So we have a little bit of Youthberg here, some Minerva, and then this was interesting to see because obviously it's Katana World, and Katana World is like extremely hard to play in my opinion. It's also a buddy fight deck that just came out for English, so some people might be interested in this one because they have the lyrical set at least, so they're definitely ahead, and they also have the collab set, an additional collab set from us, and the fact that this is performing even through all that just shows, you know, the power of the deck. I think this deck's really good, just really hard to pilot. I think both the buddy fight decks are good, just hard to pilot, but we'll talk about this in a little bit. Got some more Youthberg, got this hero deck. I still need to test this. I haven't tested this. We have the new Chrono deck, but I actually think this deck's like so freaking good. Not sure what happened to him in top 32, but I really think this is a slept on deck right now. This is the free run deck, which we also saw on, it's also on stream, and then obviously Prison, and then we have the Zorga here, some Minerva and Vergilla, and I think that's, we have that down here somewhere, another Prison of Zorga, an Odium player, which is, this is Ponko. Ponpoko, I think I'm saying his name wrong, but he's a person that owns like a card shop. I actually met him. He's really sweet because he really wanted like an English generator. I believe that's what he wanted. I don't remember what I gave him something, but yeah, he's really sweet, and seeing him in top 32 was really cool because he just absolutely loves this deck. Like, it's like his favorite thing. This is also really cool to see. And then yeah, that's basically it for top 32. We're actually going to go over some of these. I also have one more thing. There's also a lyrical cup that happened. Oh, I guess it's a lyrical cup. I don't know what kind of cup they like, what they, you know, dictate this as, but this also happened, which is also really cool. So this was just a lyrical only event here, and here we'll take a look at these as well, but let's first start on this and then we'll just go to the other one. So I'm not gonna look at the obvious decks. We might look at the first place list for Vergilla, but I don't really think we need to look at, like, you know, any like, we don't need to look at every single deck, you know what I mean? So here's Katana World. They have the Japanese thingy here, so I'm gonna guess and say that they also played in the buddy fight Japanese event as well, and I think there's probably the same guy that got second place if I had to guess. So this is Katana World, and Katana World can be built like 3 different ways. A lot of buddy fight decks can be built a couple different ways, but this one primarily like really can change how it plays. Like, you'll notice there's no impact here. They're running the early rush mechanic as well, where you just slap cards as fast as possible, start swinging face. Very aggressive, but then they also have access to, like, I think it's this blitz, or it's one of the blitzes that literally lets you like not stand a guy, and your opponent, I think it might be this card actually. So basically this is really good into like, you know, the Heartluru matchup, and actually you can see it on stream that they kept resting the guy that gets like the crit on it. So, and by the way, like during the stream, the Katana player got like red OT'd on top of that, so he was like already on like the back burner of taking, it was like early on, it's like turn 2, he had to take like a lot of damage early on, and then he basically just won the game anyway. Just showcasing just what this deck's capable of. I think this deck's really powerful. It's just really hard to pilot. There's a lot going on because you're not really like, you don't really kill half the time. It's more so the fact that you're just slowing other decks down fast enough to where you just win off of that. I am gonna take a look at like 1 or 2 Vergilla lists. I really don't see them being all too different aside from trigger ratios and maybe like the grade 2, the grade 1 ratios that they're choosing to run. But here's one to give you guys an idea. We do have this dinosaur thing here that we don't have, but JP does. Well, we should be getting this kind of soon. This card's like pretty disgusting in like a lot of decks, not just specifically this one, but just a good generic card basically. So you know, just to go to a little finder, like I said, but this deck is so solved. The only difference is like some people just don't run this card, some people do. Like some people just run different trigger ratios, some run draw, someone fronts. Like that's really like the biggest thing, but for the most part everyone's like kind of on the same deck, so that's why I'm not like too keen on looking at that. But I do want to take a look at the Youthberg list here, because there was one that made it on stream. I just don't know which one it was. They got the ace, they have the dog. They just, the big thing is like you get the set 11 cards that gotta throw them in 4 each. It makes the deck so much better, so much more aggressive, and just way better at maintaining a board. Youthberg's biggest issue early on was just they couldn't maintain a board. Now you have both these cards to kind of fix that problem. That's really the big thing that changed for Youthberg. Also they do have Nebula, which is kind of something we don't have, so if you don't have Nebula, that you could probably play without it, to be honest. You'll play like Redo or something else. Nebula helps you find one card faster, basically. That's like the premise of it, right? And also it's easy discard to let you find more cards later on, so it's just different version of high five. Right, so there's that. But just check it out. You definitely can play without Nebula. I do think it like lowers the consistency, but I think the deck is playable without it, even for set 11. We can take a look at like a Minerva list real quick here. I always look at these and I'm always like, oh yeah, Nebula's a thing, and I always feel bad because some people want lists and they're like, oh my god, but what do I do without Nebula? You can definitely play without Nebula. So here we have someone running 2 Nebula, and then they have the Biscottis, the Coco, the girl that lets you soap us to get additional power, all that little fun stuff there. So yeah, so basically there's that. Honestly, this list looks very standard. I think maybe the OT might be a little bit different from like deck to deck, but everything else I'm seeing here is like typical what people run in this deck. Some people run more Nebulas and like cut out like the ace unit and stuff like that. It kind of just varies. I think I've seen some people also run the Persona copy as well in the main deck, since you get the additional 5k, but you lose power depending on how you do it. Like you don't get the full 10-10 boost, but you get like the 15k boost instead, which does matter. Unfortunately, on stream, the guy misplayed just a tiny bit. I don't know if it mattered, but he did just forget to do an effect that kind of screwed him over a little bit, like to close out. Because the biggest issue with this deck, it doesn't really close out. It's like a 4-attack deck that just can't close out. But it doesn't deck out what I heard Chris talk about on stream last night, which actually I didn't know. I didn't know that was a thing. It's like a never-ending loop. I didn't know that. That was cool to see. But this is Freerun. Freerun basically plays like you play a bunch of these Highlander orders, and you basically just want all of them to proc as fast as possible, as she gets abilities based off how many of those orders you have. The condition you want to be at is 7, so you want to get 7 your orders as fast as possible. And then you have Stark, which is your restander, and then I don't remember exactly what she does. I think she lets you draw. And then you have, do they run TFL clone in here? I don't think they have the TFL code in here, so I guess they just chose not to run it, which is perfectly valid, because this is the grade 1. This is the grade 2 is like a free run looking card that's like a TFL clone. And basically a lot of what this deck does is it likes to stack, it can like heal, it can call a token, it can give power, it can give triple drive, crits. It says a lot of like random things. It can draw cards all within these orders, and you get to proc them all in whatever order you want, and then you just get all their cool effects. So it's a really cool deck. I really like it. I think the only card you can run at higher cost is like this one. All the other ones I think have to pick one of. So yeah, it's basically like her journey, and it's just a really cool deck. I think I've talked about it so many times now, but I'm just gonna keep bringing it up because some people just don't see some of my older videos. There was a Chrono that made it through, and I really want to talk about this deck in particular because this is like my baby right now. Like I think ever since this deck has come out, like I have never enjoyed a deck as much as I've enjoyed this one, at least specifically in standard. Maybe Flatberg was close. So here's the new Chrono. So you're basically running the new version of him. It's just slightly better than running the OG. But you can go back and forth between them if I remember correctly. I gotta reread some of these cards. I don't remember off the top of my head exactly what they do because I haven't looked at it recently. But basically you can go back and forth between them and just get all their additional effects. It's really cool, actually. But we have this new grade 2, which I don't even know if I don't think it's out yet, because I don't see it. I don't see the new grade 2 in here. So this might be Chrono before the new grade 2, which does change how the deck works. I guess I'm not seeing it here unless they have to proxy it. I don't know. Maybe it was this. I don't know. It might have been in the deck, but maybe it was not deck log, is like my thing. But there's a new grade 2 that basically just has additional power. It's another grade 2 that you can still blast to restand with the retry eye and all that stuff. And it's really, really freaking good. It's a really, really good one. I noticed this is the Dark States version, so we are running the Dark States cards in it as well. We're also running this card that came out a little bit later in a festival collection for us. We do have this card. It's really good. It basically it calls us up from drop. The only downside is you can't like play it off of the top 5 off of this. That's if you had to careful like how you play cards. You also notice there's no Philia in this deck, and I don't know if Philia is really necessary or not. I do think it's a good component, but the deck is getting tighter since we have to make room for this, and we have to make room for the new grade 2. So, you know, the deck space is getting tighter, so maybe Philia isn't the go anymore. You also want to run fronts, especially the soul fronts, because this deck soul bosses a lot, and actually I think you can kind of get away with more fronts than crits in this deck in general. Dear Days energy marker? Really? I actually didn't know that. Anyway, the hero deck, it runs the new grade 3, and then I don't even think it runs the old grade 3 at all. We're gonna run 4 of this guy, which is the new card, and then there's like new Vanguard card people run. I guess someone's running this as well. Oh no, he isn't here. Okay, here he is. So people think he's ugly. I think he's like okay. I don't think he's like the most coolest looking card, but he's not like that bad either. Anyway, you're running your new base here along with your old base as well, and then obviously this is like your carry card. She lets you get an additional base out a little bit faster. Your turn 2 can be really aggressive as you can basically just like steamroll your opponent down if they just don't know. This has a counterblast on it, so people just forget. Like if you just deny this deck like 1 CB, you're usually fine, but I think that's like the issue is people don't deny the CB and then they just get blasted by this deck, because that's like where the gimmick of it is like turn 2 can just randomly like attack a lot, but if you just don't give it a CB, it slows it down a lot. This deck's biggest issue is draw. Like it really does not draw fast enough, but like I said, I don't know if this new card kind of helps with that or not. Like maybe it helps with it, I'm not too sure. Like I said, I haven't been testing it, but here it is. Prison deck just really quickly here because it did win the entire event. So there's Prison, he's got the new ride line and he's running the Garcha Girl. This is the new girl that just helps with power and draw. We obviously have Citrus, we have Ace, we have Muna. You have the card that lets you find more cards. They are running the new prison over the old one. This is the one that soul charges 3. Oh, sorry, soul charges as things are in prison versus like the instant soul charge 3. Just a little different. This card's like absolutely insane. This card is so good. It's just, this is actually the main reason I started playing prisons because this card existed. I was like, wait, I can have like 6 PGs in my deck? That's crazy. Because it just nullifies so much random crap. Like it's so great. Oh, that thing has like 100 million and whatever crit on it. That's crazy. Soul Blast. No more. Get that shit out of my face. Like that's so good. Really powerful. Like I think people really are underestimating this deck. Like some people are like, oh, you can just play around it. I don't think it changes the fact that the deck is still good. Now I will say the guy did check like OTA into like the Katana player, which definitely hurt, and then he checked the crit on top of that after. So and then like in finals he also went like double crit, and I think he also healed out of the Katana player on the 6 damage as well. So there's definitely some stuff happening, but that's just Vanguard. Like in the same logic, like also other players I'm sure were also having similar experiences in their other games. That's just the game, you know. So this deck in particular just doesn't deck thin as much, so I think it's like more shocking whenever a trigger gets checked because it's like, whoa, but you're not really deck thinning, you know. It's like one of those things, but it can still happen, you know. All that kind of fun stuff. But yeah, really cool stuff. I do really like this order because I'm not randomly soul charging 3 cards away. I can kind of choose when I want to soul charge. Like you mind this deck soul blast a lot more because you're mainly soul blasting with her now instead of counter blasting. But because you're not counter blasting as much, you can use your CB for like something else like her now, which is also really nice. So you kind of have like a little bit more leeway at how you want to manage your resources. I also like that he's running this. This kind of helps like into retire matchups because prison still really struggles if you get like board wiped. Like Doji still like wins this matchup, you know. It's like one of those things. Like you still have to be very cautious of like what you're doing and what you're calling, because if you lose it, you really need to fight to get it back. And to retire matchups or like Varga or Vergilla where they touch your board more, it's just you have to be more cautious of what's happening. His unit can also nuke this card out so you don't get your draw. So yeah, you have to be very careful how you play into this, and also as the person player, you have to be careful at what you're choosing to call out. Like if you call out this and lose them, like, you know, that kind of sucks. Also, I never really shed white in her hair. It's so cool. So it's just a pretty card. I do want to take a look at one's list here, so let me like quickly boot this one up as well, just because it's always fun seeing someone that I know top, because I don't really know that too many Japanese players. I kind of know them from a distance, but I don't actually talk to them. So obviously, because they speak Japanese, they speak English. So here's his list. Wow, I didn't realize how maxed out this is. That is so pretty. I'm guessing, I think someone brought this up that the Philia isn't foiled because it's the only card in his deck that's not shiny. So I don't think this has a foiled version of it. That's crazy. I didn't realize how hard he went on this deck. He does love this deck a lot. So here's his list. It's pretty standard. He's basically just running like everything that you would run in this deck, and the only difference is really this slot right here. Some people move this slot around. Like this can be like a cycler, this can be like another grade 1 searcher, this can be a lot of things, and he chose to make it the Colossus, which is also valid. It also says counterboss draw card on it, you know, so charge 1 if you wish to. So also really good. And then he's got his little searchers and stuff like that, and also running the fronts, and he's running all 4 restandard heals, which I think is very, very correct. I think 2 and 2 just isn't enough. I think we're just in such a heavy meta against like Vergilla and Heartluru that this has to be 4. Like this just has to be 4. Like I'm sorry, but it just does. Like you really need it. Like of course if you face a rogue deck, it hurts, but like chances are you won't face the rogue deck, or you'll more likely face a restanding deck more than a rogue pick, you know, if that makes sense. There's just more likelihood that will happen. So I definitely agree with the 4 heals here. Really good list. I really like it. Like, he kept it extremely streamlined, and I'm a big fan. Let's go look at some of the lyrical decks here. Like a lot of Chris Rain. We had a lot of Chris Rain. We had one of this heal deck, the Fennel. We had Charm Out Sienna, Charm Out Leticia, Marlene with the new manga stuff, another Fennel deck, Artisaria, and then we had Absolute Zero here. You'll notice Chris Rain took up most of the slots here. No Kyrie, by the way. Not a single Kyrene here at all. Honestly, as it should be. I don't think that deck's that good. My boyfriend tried for the first time. He was like, oh my god, I see why you don't want to play this anymore. It's just very boring and not fun. But anyway, I do really like seeing Sienna up here. I genuinely don't know what one this. I'll probably take a look at it later, but let's just go look at like some of the lists here. We're just going to kind of peek see here, just a little peek sees and probably close out here. So they're running the I forgot about the ace unit. I should like go fetch that out of my my tub of like random cards that I don't use. So we have the ace unit here, which also lets you draw a card just to push a little further. This lets you find your grade 1. This card's like so good. I still think this should be a 4 of. Genuinely, you just need to find this card. This card and like this card. I think are like the two most important cards in the deck aside from like Persona and a couple other small things and like High Five obviously. But I really I love these little Christmas cards. Are so cute. But yeah, front set obviously you got your searcher here. You got your little defense option here. Got your PGs. They should be running 4 regular PGs real correctly, and then they have blue OT if I'm I can't tell which OT this is. I think this is blue OT. It looks like blue OT because I see the crit here. So yeah, this is I'm pretty sure it's blue OT. So and then we have our energy cyclers, which do come up. I actually thought like, oh, maybe you don't need it, but you definitely need it. I've been testing this deck, FYI. They got this Regallus piece in here, which is pretty valid if you need to find pieces a little bit faster, especially into retire matchups. Retire matchups still hurt. They just hurt a little less because this card really helps. And then just having the extra revive target and the draw, like it's just melty but just better. This is basically melty. It's melty, and that stupid card that I don't like, the generic that says you can still charge 1, I don't like that card. But it's the Mardeal, whatever her name is, card, but just with an additional 4 more lines of text, and it's great. So the running front set in their build, that's interesting. I'm wondering if front set's like a standard for this deck, because it didn't used to be. You didn't used to run front set, but I guess now maybe you need it. I'm not too sure. Like, should you maybe because this checks top 5 and then you can use front set to grab it back whatever you check to call. So maybe that's why you want to run front set now, which is actually reasonable. I can definitely understand the reason for that. Yellow OT, I love seeing yellow OT. It's my favorite OT. They're running 4. The blitz is perfection right there. So yeah, really good stuff. Sienna just has like the blitz mechanics, so you actually want to use your blitzes as much as possible since you don't want to put anything to the guard circle. And then let's see, we do have this like little heal deck here. I saw one of my friends was actually testing this deck out the other day. It was like last Monday or the Monday before that I saw they were trying it out. Also running first set, of course. Best card and Yuika. I don't know if I think the other deck, I think Sienna also had Yuika. I can't remember off the top of my head, but then we have Ura here just to be able to grab our blitzes here. And then this is, oh, that's so pretty. That's so pretty. Sorry, it's just such a pretty card. I didn't realize how pretty the altar is. That's so cute. It's got like her cake and the, okay, maybe I should put it like that, but it's got like the snow and the, oh, that's so cute. The little crown. That is actually really adorable. She have a crown, her original one too. She doesn't have a crown. Okay, I was curious. But this is the heal deck. It's very hard to play, actually. So it's definitely like a deck you have to like really like test on, but it's really good. I really like this deck. So there's that. Oh, I'm definitely on the, it's on my list of the deck to try out. I do want to show Marlene, but we actually are waiting on the promo. So we have to gotta wait a second on the, this is the card I don't like this card. Anyway, we're waiting on this promo right now. It just definitely makes the deck significantly stronger. So something to keep in mind. We are waiting on that. We are about to get this card in set 11, but you can play the deck with just this card and without the promo. But there's also this card that is a PR that I don't think we have yet that you also kind of need, and you definitely need this PR as well. This is very important. But if you choose to play without it, you could just play the current Marlene cards that we have and then just apply this into set 11 and just have, you know, party it up that way. You notice they're running this package where they're running the Ballista ride line over Marlene's ride line, which is very, very valid. I actually don't like Marlene's ride line very much. It's very weird. I'm not a big fan of it. They're also running the Belshbon and then obviously the soul charging card. I don't know if this deck soul blasts a lot. Maybe it does now. I'm not too sure. You do want to get your Marlene's out to kind of send it back to decks. I guess it makes sense. You also kind of want, this has to be in your hand as well. It does say soul blast too, so maybe that's where the soul charger is coming in. So that makes sense to me. And I think that's it. Also, this helps with getting more soul since you're shoving cards into soul and then draw and then go through. So that might also be helping with the soul issue if the deck has a soul issue. So there's that, and then we do have an absolute 0 deck, so let's take a look at what that's doing. Yeah, so we do have this new card, which they are running at 4, so I guess it's doing, I think she's a Judge Maiden too, so obviously you kind of want her, and I think that's, and then they also have this new card as well, which, I definitely see why she's in there. Also, really, really pretty art. This is one of the prettiest arts. I actually might rebuild absolute 0 because this, and also because, you have the soap boss with this also helps you keep going, and they are running the additional orders to kind of help with this to kind of keep the order, because she also checks for orders. You have to put an order, so there's also that. So really cool. I really like where they're going with this. It's really cool. And then also there's something interesting. So Yuika can also soap boss and bounce. I'm kind of wondering if you still get the effect if you can bounce her back when she goes to soul. I know there's some like interesting interaction with that. I'm wondering if that works with this as well, so that'd be kind of something interesting to take a look at. I'm not 100% sure. Because she goes to soul, I think Yuika can also grab her back, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I have to double check that ruling. If that's the case, it makes this deck even better in my opinion. But yeah, really interesting stuff. I really like this. Like I told you, this card's the best deck in the deck, in the best card in the deck, and this card directly grabs that. So really good stuff there. So yep, we're running the grade 1. Just trying to see what we have here. Okay, so it looks pretty standard. They're just running I love that they're running this card. This card is so good. People really underestimate this card. Like, this is such an underestimated card. This card, it gives 5k to anything. You usually put on the Vanguard, and now Vanguard becomes a magic number. It makes it so much more harder for the opponent to block. Your Vanguard's always like 13. It's like 13 or 23 unless you have the Shadow Army token behind it, but this 5k actually can go like anywhere. I love this. I'm a little iffy on this. I think I would be running probably maybe something else, but it's the easiest one to run. I actually run Valspawn in this slot right now, and I really like it because it's an extra draw. It goes through your deck a little bit faster without actually decking out. You could just run these instead because it's 10k shield. I prefer seeing a card deeper. Like I just like seeing an additional card, so I actually run the Valspawns in this slot, and I don't even know if I run this. I might just be running like a cat in here. I really like this card. So right now I'm running the Yuika alternative, the one that also bounces anything on the board versus like specific cards. This card is just so much better, basically. You don't really need the bounce half the time, I'll be honest with you, unless it's turn 2 rush, it really is when you need it. But you can get away without it, in all honesty. Because the big thing is, like, you just need boosters that, like, do something, and this booster does something. It's really good. Also, she's really pretty. Like, this is a really freaking pretty card. All of the Artisaria cards are always, like, really pretty. Already just has, like, some of the best, like, the prettiest cards, like, I swear. I guess you can run her now. So they're just running her over, like, whatever they were slotting in this slot. I guess it was the old grade 2 they used to boost, so that's like basically taking up the slot. So they did something to change, so that's cool. So some small little changes, right? They're also running one random Reese's, which is pretty interesting. This deck does play orders, so I guess because you play a bunch of orders, this actually does come up, so that's interesting. I've actually been thinking about rebuilding this deck, but I think it's still expensive. I'm not 100% sure. It's been on my radar again. It just takes so long to get to the pop-off turn. You just have to wait so long to get there. That's everything. Hope you guys enjoyed this format. I realized that my thing is just slightly off a little bit. I might have to like adjust it just a tiny bit, but otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed that. And as always, like and subscribe. The cards on shop, Code Orange if you need anything. We have a Black Friday deal going on, a separate deal going on, a bunch of other stuff happening. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff on there. Use my Code Orange, save yourself some money. Also, dual spec, you can use my Outer Orange code, save yourself some money there on all your sleeves and purchases and all that kind of fun stuff. And then also you can use BCWSUPPLIES, use my code Orange10 to save yourself some money on there. If you're just save yourself some money, just keep doing it. Just keep using the codes, keep saving money, and all that kind of fun stuff. On that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this slightly different style of my results. Yep. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoy that. As always, like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. We'll see you guys in a future video. Comment below what your favorite deck was today, or any deck that you want to see, or what you're excited for set 11. Tell me below how you feel about that. Bye, 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 bye.